Hi, welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. I'm going to do a week's worth of unboxing all at once, so that way there aren't, 10 different videos on this. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I've got a couple, I just released the sound system video on the GLC. I've got a couple other things that are going to be coming up here, and making some improvements to the water system to improve my resin usage, my deionization flow. So those will be up here shortly. I've got some other new projects that are going to be coming up. So I've got a couple of packages here. So this is from Amazon. Simple packaging. I got a AudioQuest Golden Gate 0.6 meter, which is a 2-foot RCA cable. This is for the sound system in the GLC. So if you remember in the video when I was wiring everything, I had the Mogami Amphenol cables, and I also had an AudioQuest, I think it's an Everest, it's a green cable. I'm getting some, it's not really alternator noise, but I'm getting like a high-pitched whine every once in a while from the tweeters. So my intention with this is to replace the cable that's feeding the tweeters and just see if there's potentially something wrong with the cable, or it's just having noise introduced from the power that's in that same area, and see if I can clean that up a bit. Next I have this box from Newegg. This was something, this is packaged pretty well, a bunch of locker in here in a Cento box. So this is something that was a shell shocker. So Newegg has an email that they send out every day. It's something called a shell shocker. There's like 5 things that are on sale with a coupon code as long as you're on their email list. So I actually ordered 2 different things from the shell shocker. This is the first, which is it's TP-Link Wi-Fi outdoor plug. So I have a couple, they're an off-brand like Gosend or something like that, and they're the Wi-Fi plugs, and they tie into Google Home, and I've got a pretty decent Google Home environment here, and I'll do a separate video on that at some point. But I have a couple lamps, like there's one in my living room, there's one in my hallway, there's one in my, well actually there's 2 in my living room. And they turn on automatically at like 7:30, and they turn off automatically at 9 o'clock, and the Google Home does all of that. I decided this year when I did my Christmas lights, I want my Christmas lights to be tied into the Google Home as well, so they come on consistently, they go off consistently. Because I turn them on when I remember it, and then if I'm not home, they don't get turned on at all. And I either leave them on all night because I want them on, but I, am not up to shut them off, or I shut them off before I go to bed, which is like 9 o'clock. And, I think I'd rather them turn on automatically, at whatever dark is. That's 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, like whatever we set the time to dark, and then automatically turn off, somewhere around midnight or 2 a.m. or something along those lines. So the plugs that I normally use are indoor plugs, so they're not weather rated. I was toying with the idea of using some of these extended boxes to kind of hide them from the elements. So this might work, but then I came across these, which are 2 outlet smart plugs that works with Hey Google, with Alexa, with SmartThings, no hub required, voice control. And TP-Link makes network equipment. Like at its core, the company makes network equipment. So, I'm not 100% concerned with the Internet of Things style security vulnerabilities when it comes to a company like TP-Link, as opposed to a company like Gosend, who I've never heard of before. So we'll get these unboxed, and we'll get them added to our account and try them out. I'll probably do a separate video on that. Alright, so for our next packages, we've got this guy from Amazon. So this is a gauge for the water system. And the reason that I got this gauge, it came from Amazon, is because it's glycerin filled. So it's got fluid in there. The one that I picked up from the hardware store the other day when my gauge wasn't working, it rattles. It just sits there and rattles the entire time it's being used, and it's just driving me nuts. So bought a glycerin filled gauge, get that swapped out this weekend. And then here's an Amazon package. Let's see what this guy is. Okay, so I ordered these magnetic hooks. They're for the side of the cabinets or whatever to hang things from. So I was out here over the weekend and I was trying to charge my headlamp, this headlamp that I use when I'm polishing, and I realized I didn't have a good place to put it. So I got a couple of these hooks so that I can hook it over here with all my other lights. And I ordered like a 10 pack was like 18 bucks. So now I have a 10 pack. So I've got, I think, 6 packages coming today, something like that. So this first one we have, I believe, I'm not sure where this one's from. We'll figure it out. Oh, this is Crutchfield. Okay. So, from Crutchfield support manual. Lots of peanuts. Lots of room in the box around what I actually ordered. Nice packaging. Good job, Crutchfield. So, here's what we got today. So I ordered a pair of Hertz Cento C26 OE tweeters. These are going to go in the Mercedes. They're going to replace the Focal tweeters that I installed last week. The Focals are just a little too harsh. They're just overly bright. So I would like to go to something that's a silk dome. Tweeters tend to be a little bit more forgiving, a little bit less harsh. So that's what these are. They're silk domes, and more importantly, they will fit in the box. UPS just brought my other 2 packages. So pretty excited about these. I'll do a separate video on them, getting them installed, listening to them, tuning, adjusting, but they should drop right into the factory mounting positions in the Mercedes-Benz the same way the Focals did. They're the same dimensions. So that was something, that's the reason why I ended up with Hertz instead of doing like Audio Frog or a different brand. I needed silk dome and I needed them to be the right size. So we've got this, we've got this, we've got cable, which I already plugged in inside the Mercedes. All right, let's open up the next one. So, this is wrapped in paper. Oh, okay. I forgot about this. So this, along with that TP-Link, or the pair of TP-Link smart plugs, the outdoor smart plugs, this was a shell shocker on Newegg as well. And it was 40 bucks, they're regularly 60. It's an automotive battery tester, and it's supposed to be able to do like load testing of batteries and see if a battery is good or not. I used to have access to a big snap-on one at Sound Solutions when I worked there, and that thing was super helpful because you'd have a battery that would start your car but it'd be a little weak, and you'd find that it only had half its capacity left, and the customer thought it was good but it wasn't really good. So I picked one of these up. My thought is that I'm going to test the batteries every time I do a service on any of the cars, just to validate that the batteries are good, and if I see that they're getting weak, then I'll proactively replace them before they leave somebody stranded. So yeah, like that. Next, we've got a box from the Rag Company. So let's open this up. All right. So, the Rag Company. I've never ordered from the Rag Company before. I always order everything from Obsessed Garage. Obsessed Garage gets things from the Rag Company, but Obsessed Garage has been out of GSF for a while, and the Rag Company is not. So I decided that I would place an order from the Rag Company. They are the source of most of the rags that are sold in Obsessed Garage. So I picked up a 5-liter bottle of GSF just to have some stock. I want to make sure that I don't run out of it. The stuff is fantastic. It's hands down the best car wash soap I've ever used. It's very slick. It encapsulates the dirt well. Rinses clean. It doesn't leave residue behind. It smells fantastic. Just couldn't be happier with the soap. So, you know, I ordered a 5-liter from Obsessed Garage a couple of months ago. I'm around halfway through it, but I wash 3 cars a week. All of my old Chemical Guy soaps are gone now, so I'm going through a lot faster than I was. I picked up a hat just because I thought it was cool. I really liked one of their shirts, but they only had it in small and extra large, and I could fit into a medium, or I could fit into a medium, or I could fit into a large, but I can't do an extra large. So this is one of their hats. It's a New Era hat. It's flex fit. It's a little big, but I think it looks pretty good. And then I also picked this up, which is interesting. So this is supposed to be a fender cover. And they threw a sticker in there too, that's nice. So this is supposed to be a fender cover for when you're working on your car. When I worked at Sound Solutions, we had a bunch of snap-on fender covers. And I always went back and forth with them, because if you lean up against somebody's car, you have the potential to scratch it with, if you're wearing a belt, or you have a pocket knife, which are kind of 2 no-nos if you work on cars all day. Or your jeans or whatever, like you could potentially scratch it. But if you take this and you cover a dirty car with it, it's going to scratch the dirty car. Now I can always use like a rinseless wash beforehand or something, but I thought, after working on the sound system this weekend and being in the back of the Mercedes for quite a while, that having one of these would be helpful. I don't currently have a fender cover at my house, so I picked this up too. And it wasn't expensive. I think it was like $10 or something, so I just added it to my order. All right, I shut the garage door because it was too loud outside. So, got some more GSF. Got my fender liner, fender mat. So next we have this guy. This is a package from Amazon, but it was drop shipped directly from the manufacturer. So in this case, the manufacturer is Atrend, A-T-R-E-N-D, which I've dealt with in the past. I used to be an Atrend dealer at Sound Solutions. And what we have here is a box. So this is a 12-inch single sealed subwoofer box. It's just under 1 cubic foot. And I picked this up to play with a 12-inch sub inside the Mercedes. I have a 10-inch, I had a 10-inch Audio Frog for a while. I'm also trying out a different 10-inch sub, Audiomobile. This is an Atrend box, and I found a new old stock sub on eBay the other day that I'm actually pretty happy about, and I think that's here too. So, what's this guy? So, what I have in this box is a Boston G312. So years and years and years ago, I used to be a Boston Acoustics dealer at Sound Solutions, and I loved their stuff. I had their speakers in my car, I had their amplifiers at one point or another, I had their subwoofers, I loved their G5, it was my favorite sub of anything I've ever owned. And Boston Acoustics moved out of the car audio business. So their equipment I can't really get anymore. But I came across a new old stock Boston G312, and it is brand new. It's perfect. So this is a Boston G312 4, which means it's a single 4 ohm. So it's got one voice coil, it's 4 ohm. They also make it in a G312-44, which has dual voice coils that are 4 ohms, so you could wire it down to 2. My Alpine amp will do 1200 watts at 4 ohms, so I have more than enough oomph to run this thing. This thing only requires about 400 watts, but I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to get this put in that Atrend box. I'll do a separate video on that, how to install a subwoofer in a box. I've done hundreds of subwoofers in a box. When I worked at Sound Solutions, it was like one of my normal tasks. So the Atrend order would come, or the Boston Acoustics order would come, or the Phoenix Gold order would come, or the JL Audio order would come, and we would have 30 subs, and we'd pick out boxes and we'd install them and do them all. So that when somebody came into the store and they said, "Hey, I want to try this sub out," we would be able to stick it in a car and let them hear it. Because you really can't audition a subwoofer inside a store. And then this guy, this is just groceries. So there's nothing fun there. Just got that in the house. So that's all for now. See if anything else comes today. I think there might be one more box, but I thought that I would just roll in all of these unboxing videos in the same video rather than have 3 or 4 weeks worth of unboxing videos from 1 week worth of receiving packages. So I'm gonna get to work on this. I have to find some stuffing for inside the box. I'll go see if I can find a pillow to rip open. So thank you, have a great day. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps me to do things, helps me to play with these projects and order new products and talk about the new products on here, and hopefully provide people some help or some guidance if they're looking at a particular product that they're thinking about clicking the buy button on. So thanks for watching, have a great day.